So hello students, in this video we are going to see about design of asynchronous sequential circuits. Our learning objective is to derive primitive flow table from the design specification. In our previous videos we have seen about the asynchronous sequential circuit analysis. So the analysis, the diagram will be given, logic circuit will be given, and we need to derive a flow table or a transition table and the output table. But in the design steps, we will be given with a design specification or a problem statement, and we are going to end up with a logic diagram. Let us see how it is designed. So the very first step is, from the design specification, we have to obtain the primitive flow table. From the primitive flow table, using state reduction step, the rows are merged and we get a table called as flow table. After obtaining the flow table, the binary values are assigned to the state variables present in each row of the flow table, and we call this process as state assignment, and it converts the flow table into a transition table. Next step is, from the transition table, which consists of information about the excitation variable inside the table and the output variable along with it, we will derive a simplified Boolean expression using K-map. And from the expression, logic diagram is drawn. So we start with the design specification and end up with the logic diagram. That is what called as a design of asynchronous sequential circuit. So in this video, we are going to see how to derive a primitive flow table from the design specification. So it is one of the most difficult part of the design, since it requires some intuition and experience, and we have to arrive at correct interpretation of the problem specification. Let us see an example. The given example is to design a gated latch circuit that consists of two inputs, G, that is gate, and D input called data input, one output called Q. The specification, that is the functioning of this gated latch, says that the binary information at the D input is transferred to the output Q when the gate input is equal to 1. The Q output will follow the D input as long as G is maintained at state 1. When G goes to 0, the information at the D input is retained as an output. Even if we try to change the D input with G equal to 0, the Q value will not change. Thus, the gated latch is a memory element that accepts the value of D when G equal to 1 and retains this value even after G goes to 0. Let us see how to derive a primitive flow table. So what is a primitive flow table? Already we have seen in our analysis video, but let me recollect it. A primitive flow table is a flow table with only one stable state, or we call it as total state, in each row. In asynchronous sequential circuit, the internal state changes as soon as we apply the input. So as soon as the input changes, the internal state also changes, because we don't have a clock input in asynchronous sequential circuit. So we combine these two, internal state and the input value, together, and we call it as a total state of the circuit. So this flow table we have already seen in the analysis video. This flow table consists of 4 rows which specifies the present state or the internal state of the circuit, and we have one input. So for one input, two possible binary value, 0 and 1, two internal states, so 4 different combination, 0 0 0 1 1 1 and 1 0, and there are 8 possible next state, or which is called as an, together with this y1 y2 and x, we call it as total state, and these next states are called as excitation variables, or capital Y1 and Y2. The entry into this flow table in each row and column, you call it as excitation variable. So if you see here, each one square is marked with the circle, and only those values are marked with the circle whose entry is same as that of the row heading. So first row 0 0, so this is called as the stable state. 0 1, so the second column entry is called as stable state. Third row, first column 1 1, so it is the stable state, and the last one 1 0, the stable state for the input x equal to 1. Now let us see how to derive a primitive flow table. First, we will form a table with all possible total states in the system. See, for the gated latch, the total states comes around 6 in numbers. Because we have two inputs, we will have 4 possible combinations: 0 0, 0 1, 1 0, 1 1. But we will start with the D input as 0 and G input as 1. Because in the specification we say that our Q is equal to D. So with G equal to 1, D equal to 0, we define that state as A, and our output Q equal to 0. After this state A, suppose we change the input D input from 0 to 1, our output will also change to 1. So we define this state together, D and G, as 1 1 and output 1 as state B. Now there is a possibility that with D equal to 0, and we may change the input G from 1 to 0. As per the design specification, when G becomes 0, whatever is the input state, that will be maintained at the output. So with 0 0 and output 0, a new state is defined and we call it as state C, which can happen even with G still 0 and we try to change the input as D input as 1. So after this D, it can happen, the C can happen, and in that situation, the output will be still 0. Or after this 0, 1 input, we can make a change from G1 to 0. So state C can happen after 0, 1 input or a 1, 0 input. That is why it is written as after state A or D, the explanation says. Now, we have stated this new state as 0 0 with 0 as C and 1 0 as a state D. Now after this D, right, suppose D, with state B, when G was 1 and D is changed from 0 to 1. Now suppose if we make G as 0, that is the gate input as 0 with D input still at 1. From the design specification, we know that whatever is the input D, that is maintained at the output. So compared to this previous condition 1 0, output is a 0, same 1 0. Now because this D input is maintained at the output, so we have a different output. We name this 1 0 1 as a new state as E. So this can happen either after B, that is 1 1, or it can happen after this, that is with still G at 0. If we try to change the D input from 0 to 1, there will not be any effect in the output. So it can happen after F or after B. Now with G0, if we try to change the input D input from 1 to 0, there will not be any change in the output. So whatever is the D input, that will be maintained at the output. So this 0 0 with 1 output, and for the state C, it is same 0 0, but the output is 0. So we define this as a new state as F. So this is the input combination and the output combination, and this D, G and this inputs, right? The state D, G together we call it as a total state. Now from this information, from this total state of the system, we are going to derive the primitive flow table. Let us see how to do. One more important thing we have to remember is the simultaneous transition of two input variables are not allowed. That is, from 0, 1, you cannot make a change to 1, 0. That is, B cannot change from 0 to 1 at the same time G changes from 1 to 0. Or from 1, 1, we cannot make a change to 0, 0. So after B, C cannot happen, or after A, D cannot happen, or E cannot happen. So likewise, this is an important information which we must remember. Simultaneous transition of two input variables are not allowed. From this total state information, we are going to derive the primitive flow table. It is going to consist of one row for each state. We have 6 states, so we will have 6 rows. One column for each input combination, because we have 2 inputs, we are going to have 4 columns. So let us see how this primitive flow table is filled up. First, we will fill one square in each row belonging to the stable state. So A defines 0, 1, B is defined by 1, 1, C is defined by 0, 0, D as 1, 0, E again 1, 0, and F is 0, 0. So the combination, the binary value for D and G, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, written as the column heading. So A, 0, 1. So we will enter A in the second column and make it as a stable state with a circle, and the output is at that time 0. Now we have filled up this first row with a stable state, one entry made. After that, in the second row, B is nothing but 1, 1. So in the third column, we will write B, put a circle around it, and the output value from this total state as 1. So this third column is entered. The third row, C is 0, 0. So mark C in the first column, circle it, and its output is 0. So put a comma and write the output value 0. So this C is entered. The first column value is entered first. Then fill the fourth row with value D. D is nothing but 1, 0, 1, 0 in the fourth column. So write D, circle it, and for D the output is 0. So enter 0. For E, likewise, E is 1, 0 again, but the output is 1. For F, it is 0, 0, and your output is 1. So for the first step, we will fill up all these stable states in each row. So we will have only one stable state in each row. Next, we are going to enter the condition. That is, we know that both the inputs are not allowed to change simultaneously. So we will enter dash mark in each row that differs in 2 or more variables from the input variable. That is, A is 0, 1. So the combination that cannot happen is 1, 0. So from A, it cannot change to 1, 0. So put a dash over here, and so output also dash. So double dash separated by a comma. B is 1, 1. So 0, 0 cannot happen. So put a dash in first column. C is 0, 0. So it cannot change to 1, 1 state. So a dash in this third. D is 1, 0. So 0, 1 cannot happen after D. So put a dash here. E is 1, 0 again. So 0, 1 transition cannot happen. So put a dash again in this second column. Last row, F row, 0, 0. So 1, 1 cannot happen. Put a dash in the third column of this F row. So like this, we have completed the entry of 2 entries in each row. Stable state and not possible state with the dash. Next, from this total stable state, what can occur after each state is given here, and based on that, we are going to enter 2 more entries. But all those entries will be an unstable state condition. That is, C can occur after A or D. So after A, when the input combination is 0, 0, we can move to state C because state C is 0, 0. So from 0, 1, it can change to 0, 0 called as state C, but output is not specified. Likewise, state B can happen after state A when the input is 1, 1. So we make an entry in the third column as B, but output is not specified. So after B, it can go to E, right? It can go to E or it can go to A. After B, it can go to A or it can go to E because only one variable changes. From 1, 1, either 0, 1 or 1, 0 can occur. So 0, 1 is called as state A and 1, 0 is called as state B. C is 0, 0. So 0, 0 can change to 0, 1 or it can change to 1, 0. So we call that state as A or D. D state value is 1, 0. So possible change in the state is either 0, 0 or 1, 1. 1, 1 is state B, 0, 0 is state C. So C and D is entered in the respective input column 0, 0 or 1, 1. Value of E is 1, 0. So 1, 0 can make a transition to 0, 0 or 1, 1. So 0, 0 is state F or 1, 1 is state B. So E can change to F or B. Likewise, 0, 0. F state is 0, 0 with the output 1. So F can make a transition from 0, 0 to 0, 1 or it can change to 1, 0. So 0, 1 is state A and 1, 0 is state E. So we enter 0, 1 as state E and in the column 1, 0 we enter the state E. So likewise we will fill up this primitive flow table. Why we call it as primitive flow table? Because it has only one stable state in each row. So that is why it is called as a primitive flow table. So what next we have to see is this primitive flow table will be converted to a flow table by the method called state reduction, finding the equivalent state. And after that, the flow table, the values of A, B, C, D states are assigned with the binary value and we convert this flow table into a transition table. And then actual values of the outputs, that is we will make an output assignment for each input combination. And from this transition table that consists of the excitation variable inside this table along with the output, and we will draw a K-map for it and get a Boolean function for the excitation variable and the output variable. And that completes our design of a particular given asynchronous sequential circuit from the design specification. So all these conversion, that is state reduction and state assignment, we will see in our next video. Thank you and happy learning.